Girl, we been there.
Girl.
Listen, girl.
Listen, girl. You must kill man with a beautiful knife.
Girl, I fear you're going to have to take your beauty bottom all the way over to his annoying face and
punch, girl.
Dude, where are you? Pick up your phone. I'm going to a summer party tonight, and you're obviously invited, so call me back. Okay, love you. Bye.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Emotionally Online, the weekly slumber party for spilling guts and sharing secrets, hosted by yours truly, the one and only Maddie Drawspeck, co-hosted by the gooeyest girls in all the land. And today, we have a beautiful, wonderful guest that's currently being attacked by one of the gooey girls.
This is very unprofessional, Whisk.
You are so cute, Whiska, but we need you to behave for this.
Whisk.
Because today we have a very, very special guest back again for another slot on the pod. We have the wonderful, the irreplaceable Meg.
Woo! Bonjour! Mais oui! So happy to be here.
So thrilled to have Meg back again.
Thrilled to be back.
I am so sorry that you're being attacked by my co-host the second you get on here. Meg, please. No, I'm sorry.
I'm not doing anything. I didn't do anything.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't do anything.
I'm confusing Meg with the co-host. What are we doing? Please, girl. My neighbors must think that I am losing it. They just hear me 24/7 pleading with her to stop biting my things. Whiska, please.
Whisk.
Baby, I can't even reach you. So sorry for that rude interruption. Welcome back to the show, Meg.
Thank you so much for having
you're
me.
Here.
Happy to be here.
I needed you to come back on the show because I don't want to officially say that I'm going down the TikTok hole again, but I have a little bit been dipping my toes back into the world of TikTok.
Sure.
And
it's a terrifying place.
It is a terrifying place, which is why I removed myself from it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But lately I've been going back on there because sometimes I do like to post my reels on TikTok as well because I'm like, I already made the content.
I see those.
Just
I give them a
throw it on both platforms. Like, why not?
Yeah.
But because I've been doing that more often, I've also been, from time to time, scrolling a little bit.
Give it a scroll.
See
why don't
what the platform has to offer me.
Why don't you give it a scroll?
I do have a 15-minute timer set on the app so that it locks me out after 15 minutes. So yeah. I'm still trying to be mostly TikTok less. Mm-hmm. But I will say one of my joys of being on TikTok is when I get to see your face on my feed, which the algorithm does know well enough to show me your TikToks.
Thank you so much.
Which is good because it shows me a lot of nonsense.
Yeah. And you know what? That's really what I'm trying to do on my page is like cut through the noise.
And no, literally though.
Yeah. No, the way that I also have made, I think exactly like one TikTok in the past like 2 months.
And I for sure saw it. TikTok pushed me that shit. TikTok said, you wanna see this, babe.
And I'm grateful. And
I said, for sure I did. And you were so right about that. Oh my God.
And I'm pretty sure the TikTok was me being like, I'm back, baby. Yeah. And then I proceeded to not make.
But honestly, I think that is how people should behave on TikTok. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that TikTok is a platform that people should stay at for long periods of time.
I agree.
I think it's bad. Mm-hmm. Okay. Every time I go on TikTok, there's this one person, which the only reason I don't like block them is because I just feel that they at some point need to like reckon with their actions in the light of day and like look at what they're doing.
And I have to know who this person is.
Well, I wish that I knew who this person was. It's some anonymous K-pop account that anytime they see a TikTok with like something disgusting in it, something that they deem disgusting, they tag me in it and say, "This you." I'm not kidding. On a loop. This has been happening 4 months. 4 months. Anytime they see something gross, nasty on the internet or something that they hate, something that is like just gross for whatever reason. It can be like an animal doing something disgusting, or it can be literally anything. Anything that you might look at and be like, well, that's offensive to be compared to.
Right.
They will find a way to compare me to that thing and they tag me in it. And they're like, is this you? Or whatever they always say. But every time I go on TikTok, I'm presented with a new one from this same person. And I always have a giggle every time I see it because I'm like, that's so weird. To do it once is weird. To do it constantly over the span of months is like extra weird, especially because I have not been on TikTok for all of these months.
Yeah.
So I will like the one time that I open up my phone to go on TikTok and I see this person tagging me and shit, I'm like, oh my God, this person thinks they're my bestie. Having to like send me all these TikToks.
I am like so torn right now between being like, how dare someone be mean to my friend?
Right.
And also like, that is kind of a funny bit.
Well, it's just like so weird.
Like that they're so committed.
No, literally. Well, this is the thing. Because I haven't blocked them because I kind of think it's funny too.
They're putting in
but
so
also
much
I'm
work.
Like, I can tell they really dislike me and they think poorly of me.
Right.
For sure. I understand that
That's
much.
the part I don't like.
I understand that much. But it's like, it's so weird to me to be like so committed. Every time you see something nasty, I bother you so much. You're like, oh, let me send it to this bitch. Is this you, Maddie?
Yeah.
And it's like the randomest piece of content you've ever seen. But the reason I don't block them is because one of these days I want them to have like a come to God moment where they look at themselves in the light of day and what they're doing. And they're like, oh my God, I'm a fucking freak for this.
Right.
I hope to God you have that moment, whoever you are.
Yeah,
Your random anonymous K-pop account.
I hope that you're hate watching this podcast right now, and we want you to know that you're thinking about Maddie all the time.
No,
Maddie
literally.
doesn't give a fuck about you.
It's so funny. They're also definitely super fat phobic. I think a lot of it does boil down to that.
Well, and they're the first one on the internet ever to be that.
Yeah. No, famously, I've never seen another person on TikTok do
It's
that.
so
I have
original
never
of you.
experienced fat phobia on the internet, if you would believe it or not.
Me either.
Yours?
Everyone is always commenting
Right.
on my videos. They go, "Oh my God, body goals,
Right.
body tea."
That's why it's so shocking and hurtful when somebody's fat phobic to me, because it's like I've never dealt with this. I have no idea how to process it.
It's shocking. It's hurtful. It's like, that was smart of them.
yeah. No, it's vintage.
It's
really
vintage.
is what it is.
That's vintage Y2K.
literally, babe. But I always wonder if like
That's so
other
insane.
people have such dedicated weirdos.
Yeah,
On
dedicated haters.
TikTok specifically, because I feel like I don't have my like dedicated weirdos on other platforms are men who think I owe them a response.
Sure.
On TikTok, it's people that are dedicated to doing shit like that. Like,
so
what are we
insane.
doing?
Yeah. Do they comment on like the TikToks that you make, or is it
No,
purely just
they're
mentions?
tagging me in other videos in the comments? Yeah, I don't know. I do not know.
Their method of approach is also just bonkers bananas
Well, it's
to me.
also like, it feels like maybe they think it's extra sly because then nobody's going to see their comment.
Yeah.
It's just going to get drowned in like a sea of other people's reactions to this random video.
Right.
And I'll be the only person that sees it and has any meaningful reaction to it. Even though I'm not even on the app.
Right.
Like, if you really wanted to bully me, you should probably bully me on one of the apps that I spend hours a day on.
Right.
Like, sorry, babe.
Like,
I'm
you're
chronically online on other platforms.
Yeah, like the platform is really misguided, I feel.
Yeah. Come on, get better at bullying me. What is wrong with you?
Come on, guys. If you're going to bully, do it right.
Do it the right way. What
Do
the
it right.
hell?
What the hell?
Fucking freaks.
It's funny because most of my TikToks that I make, I will make in such a way that it's like, I'm never going on there with like a hot take. Like
Right.
most people go on TikTok and they're like, or a lot of people, I guess, will go on TikTok.
100%.
They're yelling about something. I like tend to stray away from that just because I think it's more trouble than it's worth for me. Also, I feel like if you pay attention to me in any way, shape, or form, it's like you kind of get the vibe of who I am.
Totally.
But I will make a lot of TikToks that I make are about my roommates. And there was like a period of time last year where like every TikTok that I would make about my roommates, I would have a flood of people coming on and being like, okay, you are making fun of your clearly neurodivergent roommates. You are being ableist. And I just want to go on record and say that none of my roommates are neurodivergent.
I love when people do that shit in TikTok comments. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this.
Yeah.
There is no way that you, a stranger on the internet, think that you have a better assessment of me and my friends' dynamic than I do, it's having lived with them, you fucking moron.
I have lived with them for 4+ years.
Right.
And they're like, you're bullying them.
You're bullying them right now.
I literally
I think there's something happening here.
I've had at least 3 videos where my roommates are like doing some bullshit, right? Where like one time my roommate bought a book about oysters. Another time a roommate was texting me about the Rush Hour 3 franchise, or the Rush Hour franchise. And both times I have had people be like, that's actually clearly their special interest. And it's actually really unfair for you to not lean in and support them when that's something that they clearly really love.
That's crazy. No, I do feel like TikTok comments specifically love to make issues out of things that are not issues. Mm-hmm. This is not a conflict.
Yep.
Everybody can calm down.
I had Dan Povemeyer, the creator of Phineas and Ferb.
What the fuck?
Comment on one of my videos once and say, your roommate is clearly joking.
Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
I know. That's why I made the video.
Oh my God.
I also...
It's like he's unable to detect humor when it comes from the mouth of a woman.
Well, and that was really the key there.
Woman says it, so therefore she must be completely serious. Women don't know how to joke. Since when women joke?
This has a cadence of a joke, but it's from a girl, so...
That's really weird.
It must be serious. You fucking bitch.
Not the creator of Phineas and fucking Ferb.
Truly, I went, Dan, what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing?
Why are you in the TikTok comment section of anyone as the creator of Phineas and Ferb?
You have created such strong female characters. Candace. Vanessa.
Anything else to work on?
Come on, Dan.
What is happening?
There's got to be something in the cooker.
Completely
insane.
Get back in the room, Dan. Get off TikTok.
That was
no, that's actually really embarrassing. I hate seeing like popular, like big, successful, more like mainstream famous people in the comments of anything on the internet. What are you doing here?
This remains my favorite one to this day, which is it was the first TikTok ever that I made that like went like viral. Mm-hmm. And it was me talking about being unemployed during the pandemic. Oh, how time is a flat circle. And I was like talking about being unemployed, and it did really well. And Andy Grammer.
Hello?
Andy Grammer.
You gotta keep your head up. Whoa.
Andy Grammer commented on my TikTok in all caps with "keep your head up."
Shut the fuck up.
I am not kidding. I can go back and find it. I have the receipts for it. He wrote, "Keep your head up."
But that's an insane thing that happened to you. That's like the same thing as like meeting a celebrity and having a very specific one-on-one personal experience.
Yes.
Andy Grammer fans would fucking commit homicide on you to experience what you did.
I know.
If Andy Grammer has fans, they would be pissed to know this.
It would be like meeting Tom Holland and him saying to me, "With great power comes great responsibility." And I saw that and I went, who commented "keep your head up"? And then I went, Andy Grammer. Fucking Andy Grammer.
That is crazy.
It to this day.
Wait, so did he only do that to you, or was that like his thing?
I don't know.
How many people has Andy Grammer "keep your head up"?
Get in the comments. If Andy Grammer has commented "keep your head up," you too,
please speak out.
You too might qualify for financial aid. Genuinely.
That's crazy.
Isn't that insane?
Wow, what a special experience that you've had on TikTok.
It's been a really...
Maybe it deserves to exist as a platform, if only for moments like that.
It is kind of crazy that, like, at this point, I think I've been on TikTok for, like, 4 years making videos, which is insane to think about. It's also insane that, like, whenever I make a video, I still don't think anyone is watching it.
Right.
No matter how much engagement it gets, no matter how many people are like, Like someone maybe will like, I'll see someone in public and they'll be like, oh my God, I've seen you on TikTok. I'm like, why? Like,
that's so weird.
That's weird. And then I'm like, right, I've made hundreds of videos.
I do make content on the internet
over the course of like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do get that. I think the numbers are sometimes hard to like conceptualize, where I'm like, okay, I know X amount of people saw this piece of content, and then when one of them happens to pass me on the street, I'm like, well, that seems like a very small chance that would occur.
Yes.
Even when the numbers are high.
Yes. Well, it's so, and especially on TikTok when things can blow up like so big. Like there was one video that I made last year that I made and I was like, God, this video is really long. Like I don't think anyone's going to watch this. It's been like my biggest video that I've ever made that's gotten over like 20 million views or something like that. And I will still have people come up to me and be like, are you the girl who was the Nepo baby at the jewelry store? And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
That's
that was
so
like
crazy.
That happened a long time ago. Like we're way past that, but it's like it will still happen where I'm like, yeah, I guess a lot of people have watched that. Huh. It's wild to think about.
Yeah.
TikTok can be such a crapshoot a lot of the time of like what is successful and what isn't. Especially now. I feel like the app has changed so much in the past 4 years. Like so many videos now are like, buy this thing on my TikTok shop and like it's sponsored.
TikTok
so many things
shop
are
is
ads.
very confusing to me. The last time that I was on TikTok shop did not exist. So now that
it's like every video.
I actually don't understand what it is, because I understand that it's like brands, like actual real brands are listing their items on TikTok shop, but for like a fraction of the price. And I'm like, but why?
No, that's exactly how I feel too.
Like why?
And I've had people like reach out to me and be like, promote this for your TikTok shop. And I'm like, first of all, I'm probably never going to promote anything on my channel because that's just not something that it's just not what my channel is for.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But like also, I don't get TikTok shop.
Right.
And I just don't think that you should be buying anything off of TikTok.
Right. It feels like an Alibaba, but it's like real brands that are on there, which is why it's confusing to me.
Yes.
Like, why can the like fucking body wash that I use in my shower, I think the brand is called Saltaire.
Yeah.
I like that body wash. It's a good body wash.
Yeah.
And then I showed it to my sister, and then I got her it for her birthday or Christmas last year, or I don't know, something. And then she texted me and she's like, you can get this shit on TikTok shop. I just saw it. Like, I can, whenever you need a restock, you can get it on TikTok shop for like $6 or $7 less. And I was like, wait, but why? Is it still the real thing? Why can I get it for $6 or $7 less on TikTok shop?
I don't know. Explain that to me, TikTok shop.
I'm very confused by the whole thing. It feels like a scam to me, even though it's real brands.
Yeah.
I'm still very confused by the whole thing. I feel like too sketched out to actually purchase anything via TikTok shop.
There's a part of me that like, and this has been since I've started making these videos, that like feels a little too old to like really know what I'm doing on the app.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to be linked to TikTok shop.
Right.
I don't want my personhood to be linked to TikTok shop.
No.
And like that to me feels weird.
Right.
It's another thing for like a brand to reach out to me and be like, "Hey, do you want to do this blah blah blah?"
Sponsored content.
But to me it feels the same as like when, I don't know, like random ass Amazon stores reach out to me and they're like, promote this.
No, I could
promote
totally
this shapewear. And I'm like,
and
I'm
it's
not
like
gonna
the
do that.
wording in the email is all like slightly off. You're
it's like hey creator, space, comma.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, this is not a real person speaking to me right now.
No.
It's like barely legible.
Yeah.
That is exactly how TikTok shop feels, where I'm like, something's happening here. Mm-hmm. And you all just seem to be loving it up on this little section of the application.
You know what I will do is if I see a product that's on TikTok shop that I like, I'll take a screenshot of the video.
Yep.
And then I'll look up the brand later.
Completely. Yeah. Or like I'll see people promote things on TikTok shop and it'll like, instead of buying it on TikTok shop or through their link, I'll just buy a similar product somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's how I got my ice machine. I was constantly getting served those ice machine videos. And I'm like, no, that's so true. I do need a nugget ice machine. Did not buy that bitch on TikTok shop. I probably paid more for it. It maybe is the same thing. I don't know. I just don't trust TikTok shop.
I don't think we should be trusting TikTok in general.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I don't think that that's a place that we should be.
No.
The ice machine, though, is amazing.
Oh, it is probably my best purchase of the last 5 years.
It's changed the game.
It gets so much use. Suddenly I drink all of my beverages with nugget ice, and it has exponentially improved my happiness.
Yeah. That would change my life, I think.
Yeah.
I'm such an ice chomper.
Totally. It's also just it motivates me to go out and buy coffee less or matcha or anything. I have been making my matcha at home every morning, and honestly, it is just as good, if not better, than the one I get at the store. And I do believe that the nugget ice plays a crucial role in making it that good.
I believe that as well. I'm 100% in agreement with that.
It's just it's a necessary part of elevating the beverage.
I have been really just going out and buying everything at a little coffee shop or the bodega that I now live near because, oh man, is it amazing to live near a bodega again.
Yeah.
I just moved, and so to go over there and be like, here's the turkey sandwich that I want, and they make the most amazing turkey sandwich I've ever had in my life. It's incredible.
No, it is quite nice.
I made coffee at home the other day, and I was like, oh right, I can do this.
Yeah.
I have the technology to do this.
But you know what's better? Having something a little special made.
What if it's a little treat?
But then when you have the ability to make it a little treat at home with the nugget ice,
yeah,
really takes it to the next level.
Maybe I should get a nugget ice machine. Maybe that's the takeaway here.
Yeah, no, I think everybody should get a nugget ice machine. It's actually highly recommended to everybody.
And that's been the pod. Thank you so much.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busiest time of year is here. The holidays are creeping up on us here, so it's time to start thinking about what you'll be gifting the people in your life this holiday season. Over the years, I have picked out so many gifts off of Uncommon Goods for the people in my life. There's a real variety on there full of gifts for every kind of person in your life, no matter what their specific interests may be. So here's a gift idea for you. A few years ago, I actually bought my grandmother's gift off of Uncommon Goods, and I got her a blanket that had a note from me weaved onto the front of it. She still has it, keeps it right on top of her bed at all times. So every time I go home, I'm reminded of this beautiful, very special gift that I gave to my grandmother that she still cherishes to this day. I know this time of year, everyone starts looking up gift guides, brainstorming different gifts that you can give to the people in your life. So please use this as a reminder to check out Uncommon Goods, because you are definitely going to find some wonderful, one-of-a-kind gifts to gift to the people in your life this holiday season. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/emotionallyonline. That's uncommongoods.com/emotionallyonline for 15% off. Do not miss this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We are all out of the ordinary. So I saw this TikTok.
Yes.
Like a week and a half ago.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about it ever since. I honestly, when I saw this TikTok, I was laughing my fucking ass off because I'm like, this is an objectively funny thing to say. And also, I agree with it completely.
Okay.
And I felt so seen by this TikTok because I was like, no, this is something that I totally agree with.
Yeah.
That I maybe didn't know how to verbalize until this person verbalized it.
Right.
And now I have thought about it every day since, and I just need to show it to you.
Okay.
I need to fucking show it to you because it is
so locked in.
A nugget of truth that we all deserve to know of.
I kind of wonder if it's the TikTok that I'm thinking of, but we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Also, let me just really get hot now because I'm about to start playing Tiny Glade, so this is the last y'all are going to see of me. I don't think men should be allowed to say they have a type. I think it's creepy when men say, I have a type. I love brunette chicks. I love 5'7" chicks. I love short, thick chicks. I like this. I like that. What the fuck are you talking about? Like she's a fucking dog breed? Like it's weird. And when I say weird, I don't mean like, oh, you're weird. I mean like, I think you're a pervert. Like I actually think you're a pervert. Like let me see your phone. Let me see your fucking phone. I need to know where you live at, and I need to know that you're not within 50 feet of my house. Like, genuinely, I think that you're a fuck-ass freak. Like, a real fucking creepo motherfucker. And I really think that men should be, like, shamed for saying that shit in public. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not kidding. I think it's fucking weird for a man, like, confidently to, on camera, say, like, oh, I, like, only like redheads or something. Like, first of all, who is the first one, and is she safe?
That last bit is so real.
When I saw this is a TikTok by
K Boyer, right?
Lady Miss K, yeah.
We're actually mutuals on TikTok.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Well,
love her.
Literally, I saw this TikTok and I was losing my mind because I was like, I'm laughing and I'm like, no, but like, let's talk about it.
For real.
Because I agree with every last word.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was like something ignited inside of me where I'm like, I have always said consistently that I think the like conversation of types has always been weird to me.
Yes.
However, I am not as weirded out by the conversation of types when it comes from the mouth of women.
Yeah.
It's men that talk about having a type that really like grinds my gears.
Yes.
Granted, I think the whole types in general are dumb. I think it's a stupid conversation.
Agreed.
Overall, no matter who you are, 100%. However, there is a sinister nature to it when men talk about having types that I had never, like, it hadn't clicked inside my brain until I saw this TikTok and I was like, no, but that.
Yes.
But 100% that.
Yes. I think her point about they talk about women like they're fucking dog breeds is like exactly
Totally
the feeling where it's like, yeah, it's like when people are like, yeah, I don't want a bulldog for a certain reason. I love like a golden retriever. It's like that's exactly how it feels to me. And also, and I think we talked about this the last time I was on as well. Whisk.
Baby, please stop it. Stop, Whisker. I can't even reach you. It's like you come for me and when I'm in my most vulnerable. I can't reach you. Stop. Okay.
Just enjoy the scenery. Don't touch. She's so cute when she's just looking around.
Yeah. With her one eye.
With her one eye that she apparently can't see out of.
Impossible to know if we're safe from her wrath.
No, I know. Okay, she's turned around. Safe for now. No, but and I think we talked about this the last time that I was on, where like the way that women describe their type often, not all the time, but often, is like personality traits.
And also I feel like it's often rooted in like the traits of men that they have felt safe around.
100%. That too.
It's not like I don't hear women talk about types as like a wish list of things,
No.
or at least not the women that I hang out around.
Yeah, no, I like truly cannot overstate that. Like, I feel as though a lot of men will walk around and be like, if I'm not sexually attracted to you,
100%,
I will not treat you with any sort of respect. And what's also so crazy is that the women that they are sexually attracted to, they don't even treat with like what I would consider to be respect either.
Right. Yes.
It's truly just like, I'm going to put on a little show in hopes that you will sleep with me. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of times when those women do sleep with those men, they end up treating those women exactly how they treated us in the first place.
Right.
Because they're like, well, I got you. And that's it.
Right.
And it's so baffling to me when men have this mentality, because again, it just cuts themselves off from so much like human connection on just like a very basic level. And I think this like gets to the whole like all of the this is gonna sound a little cruel, perhaps a bit blunt. The whining that I see about the quote unquote male loneliness epidemic.
Yeah,
shut up. Hey, shut up. Ask your friend to dinner.
Right.
Regular.
No, I actually completely, I have like very little like sympathy for all of that.
Same.
Because I'm like, your issue is completely self-inflicted.
Yes.
Like it can also be solved so
easily. Literally ask your friend to dinner.
Right.
That's it. And then they're like, oh, I'm not going to ask my guy friend to dinner. And it's like, okay.
Enjoy hanging out by yourself then.
Then
like,
suffer
I don't know what to
and
tell
rot.
you.
Like,
this is how developing intimate relationships works.
Yes.
If you want to have intimate, close relationships with people, you need to offer up parts of yourself to that relationship.
Yes.
If you are not willing to do that,
yes,
then guess what?
Right.
You're going to feel lonely. That is absolutely how it works. You fucking moron.
Right. It makes me like so incredibly angry. And then when you top that off with a lot of the people who like are upset about the male loneliness epidemic are also these people who don't see most women as people.
Totally. They're like the most misogynistic people ever.
Yes.
And it's like I'm not going to spend my time trying to help out some of like the shittiest, most misogynistic people on earth be less lonely.
Yeah, like learn how to like make a friend. It's not my job to like teach you that I'm a fucking person worth getting to know. Right. Like that to me is so crazy, and it's something I've talked about a lot. Like I will like write a Substack every once in a while, kind of when I feel it, a la making TikTok videos. And it's something that I wrote about recently where like there was some girl was struggling with like whether or not she wanted to break up with this person or not, and was talking about like, oh, like I'm kind of like his only person and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that is his fault.
Right.
He has made no effort to make friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand this thought process of like, I'm so lonely. But then it's also in the same breath, I will hear these same people be like, well, I can't fucking ask my guy friend out to dinner. Like, that's gay. And it's like, oh, well, sorry, having human connection is gay?
Right.
Then give it a try, babe.
Like, don't fucking care.
Right.
Enjoy your loneliness. You guys are fucking annoying.
Go to fucking Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
There's a TV on every surface.
Totally. You guys don't even have to talk to each other there.
You don't have to talk. It's so insane, too. Like, I will have one of my friends who, like, lives in LA. I've been friends with him for years and years. He was talking about recently how, like, he really, like, spends the most time talking to his guy friends during fantasy football season because they have to check in with each other and like see how their teams are doing or whatever. And he was like, yeah, it's really like the time that I like talk to them the most. And I was like, and then that made me think like, is part of the reason why men love fantasy football so much because it gives them a chance to like have consistent friendships for like a couple months?
Hating that.
Is that part of it?
Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, that does check out.
Because men cream their fucking jeans for fantasy football. For something that like to me it seems like an activity that is like exactly fine. Like they love the stuff. They can't get enough. They go, oh, I have Jalen Hurts. Who do you have? And the other person is like, I have Aaron Rodgers, who like I don't even know if he's playing this season. And then they get to like kiki over that for like 5 minutes, and then they walk away being like, "That's my friend."
I think you've nailed it just now. Like this is correct.
It's like, babe, try a book club.
Yeah.
You might really love it.
For sure.
You might love a book club.
Oh my God.
Have you and your buddies tried to do like an off-season? Give like an off-season movie club a try.
Why not?
Give it a go. I think the men yearn for structure.
That is so funny.
I think men yearn for structure. I think they yearn for the opportunity to actually connect with people, and what stops them is their own fragile ego.
Definitely.
Yes.
My God, what a revelation. What a goddamn revelation.
I'm going to trademark this.
Yeah.
Fantasy football is really just about men wanting friends.
Yeah, I know what it is.
And they all get so excited over like the guy who has to do like the little prank at the end. You know, when like the guy whoever loses the in like the group, they like whoever team loses, they always have to do like a little embarrassing thing. And it's like, oh, like Kyle has to wear a sign on like 5th Avenue that says my fantasy team lost. Like, high five me. That's you literally just like wanting to plan a bachelorette party and not having and like not being willing to share that with people.
Whoa.
But that's literally all of them being like, I wish that I could just like hang out with my boys and do a puzzle on a Friday night.
Yeah, no, for real.
But instead I'm going to
They
like
only get to do it this like one season a year.
Yes.
And then they're out.
But instead I'm going to
like,
like
and the loneliness epidemic continues.
Instead I'm going to like make Sean eat a bunch of pancakes at IHOP until he can't eat pancakes anymore.
Yeah.
And me and all the boys are going to go watch.
That's love, babes.
Plan a dinner.
Right. For the love of God.
Have you heard of dinner?
My
it's
God.
awesome. My friend went on a date with a guy recently who talked about how he thought that most girls in New York City were really boring because all they really care about is like going out to drinks with their friends and like going and getting dinner with their friends. Famously, two of the most fun activities in the world.
Sorry, what do you think we do at dinner or drinks?
Yeah.
What do you think happens there?
We're bonding.
Famously, we're having awesome conversations.
Yes.
And connecting deeper than you will ever know in your lifetime.
Like,
what do you mean? What is confusing about that?
What is confusing?
I don't understand girls in New York. They just love these things that are like widely loved as two of the most awesome things ever. Eating and drinking. What is wrong with you?
And then he followed up with, well, I really like watching sports.
Okay.
And that was his big hobby that he thought was interesting and different.
Right. Also hugely popular.
Yeah. And my friend was like, you can have dinner with like your guy friends too. And he's like, no, I couldn't do that. Sorry, what? You can't go to dinner?
But this is like, that honestly, it just pisses me off. Like, I actually don't feel sorry for these men at all.
Me either.
It just pisses me off because those are the same people that then when they do enter a relationship, all of the weight of their like emotional well-being is reliant on their partner because that is their only intimate relationship. If they're even able to experience emotional intimacy with that woman, a lot of people just forego emotional intimacy altogether.
Yes.
And they have these surface level connections throughout their entire life.
Yes.
But then it's like, even if they're not having a super emotionally intimate relationship with that woman, she's still put on some type of pedestal because that's their partner.
Yeah.
And she's still thought to hold their emotional self together because they don't have anybody else in their corner that they can really connect with in that way, which is diabolical to be a grown adult and still not have figured out at least a little bit how to have that in friendships.
Yeah, it's something that like it's a conversation that my friends and I have all the time where we one of our biggest pet peeves and like biggest kind of icks is when adult men refuse to take actual like ownership of their life.
Yeah.
And are simply fine just like coasting. And a lot of times it's men in these types of relationships who are like, well, that's my girlfriend who's also my mommy. Right. And she does everything for me. And it is so then that's why you have men who are like 55 who cheat on their wife of 20 years because guess what, babe? You started dating someone who you were fundamentally incompatible with when you were 23, but you started dating her because she was like 5'4" and blonde and just your type. And you took no time over the past 20 years to get to know this probably great woman. And then you reach an age when you're 55 and she doesn't look like she did when she was 23 anymore. Right. But because you've taken no time to actually love her as a person, you then decide, I'm going to go fuck a 17-year-old. That's what these men do.
Yeah.
And they are evil. They are evil for that.
100%.
And I don't even know. I think most of the time, these men do not understand how pathetic they are.
Yeah.
They have no concept of that. And that ultimately is like, if we're really getting into the crux of the issue that I take with men who talk about their type, that is my gripe with it. Because it's like, your type exists in a vacuum. If you want to have partnership with someone, type, if it's only based on physical appearance, that's going to change in about a decade or so.
Yep.
Plan ahead.
Yeah. Fucking idiot.
Think ahead for one goddamn second. right? And it's like, think about, like, invest your time in practicing emotional connection with people so that when you get to the age of 55, you can look back and be like, what a beautiful partnership where we really met each other's needs and we were really there for one another, instead of like, I started dating this girl when she was hot and 22. Right. Now we're 55 and I'm mad. What the heck? So pathetic. It is so pathetic. Yeah. You are all cowards who do that.
Yeah, it is.
Don't do that.
Oh my God.
Lady Miss K, once again,
8
on point.
Down, okay? Men should not be allowed to say they have a type.
Men should not be allowed to say they have a type. If you're a man
and you're listening to this podcast, first of all, taste. Yeah. Second of all.
First of all, okay, like, what's your deal?
Second of all, remove talking about if you have a type. If you do that, if you have never done that, good for you. Yeah. If you say that you have a type and you've confidently been like, yeah, my type is blah, 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 shut it down immediately. Yeah. It's banned. We're no longer allowing men to talk about having a type from this point on.
Reflect.
Don't give a shit. Yeah. Shut up.
Reflect. Give some thought.
I hate it.
It's so juvenile.
Yeah, it is. And it's always rubbed me the wrong way. Like, anytime anybody talks about their type, it's like the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Like, my whole body just is like, ugh. Yeah. Gross. I hate this conversation.
It feels like all of a sudden I'm like 12 again and some guy is talking about like, right, did you see Megan Fox in Transformers? She was so hot. That's how you sound to me when you as an adult man are talking about your type. You sound like a 12-year-old who thinks that in some world,
what does that mean?
He can access Megan Fox. You can't.
To me, like, to say you have a type is like saying that you're like a willingness to pursue intimacy with people is very like rigid. There are rigid standards for who you are willing to pursue close connections with. Yes. In very superficial ways. Yes. And that to me is a major turnoff in a person in general. Mm-hmm. So I think anytime I hear people say they have a type, I'm like, that's weird. Yeah. I think it's weird to like judge people that you haven't even met yet for how you would or wouldn't be willing to love them without knowing them. Yes. Like, that is weird. It is write off weird. Entire groups of people based off of superficial things. And it's like, for what? That you wouldn't. It's just dumb to me. The whole thing is stupid.
It's freak behavior, derogatory. I feel something that one of my friends said recently to me, because I was like kind of talking to her about like this person that I kind of have a crush on, have had a crush on for a bit, whatever. It's like, you know, one of those low level crushes where I'm like, that'd be cool. But I was talking to them about this crush and I was like, yeah, like I just don't know like if they'd be into me like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like when you grow up as like a fat kid, fat teenager, fat adult, like I don't automatically assume that everyone is attracted to me. Right. Because a lot of people aren't. And that's okay. That's fine. It weeds out a lot of like shitty people.
100%.
But I was like, yeah, like I just don't know if like they'd be attracted to me like that, blah, blah, blah. And my friend was like, you know, first of all, if they aren't attracted to you, they're stupid. And second of all, I think, and I was talking specifically about a man, and she was like, I think that if a man is attracted to women, he is attracted to all women. Yeah. He should be attracted to any kind of any possible iteration of woman. Yeah. Because if he's attracted to women, right, then that means there's a wide variety of women that he is.
Should exist for everyone. You shouldn't be able to shut people down without knowing them. Like this hypothetical person that you do not have access to knowing yet. Yes. You shouldn't be able to pass a judgment off whether or not you would like them or be compatible with them.
Yes. And it's the same. It's like, because I think about like, it's the same for me as like, I don't know, as like a bisexual person. The variety and range of people that I find attractive, totally astronomical. I would say probably 90% of the global population I can look at and be like, hot.
For sure.
In some capacity. Because I just find people hot.
100%. And like, I feel the same exact way.
It is to me the most, or rather the least important aspect of a true partnership with somebody. I understand the feeling of like if you're out one night and you just want to like have sex with somebody and whatever, there are people that you are probably more physically attracted to than others. That's fine.
It's like the possibility of that attraction though.
Yes.
Like there are people in this world that I am attracted to, people in this world that I'm not attracted to.
Yes.
But the possibility for me to be attracted to any of these random traits, having no having never met these people, just like these made up traits that could exist in potential partners, I could be attracted to any of them.
Yeah.
There is not one trait, not one physical trait that you could list off where I would be like, no, there's no chance I would ever meet someone and be attracted to them.
Yeah.
I think it's weird to be like listing off hypothetical traits that you would never want in someone physically. Like,
it's incredibly clinical.
it's weird. It should, people hate when fat women say this specifically.
Yeah.
And every time I have this take, there's someone that's like, you're just saying that because you're fat.
Right.
And I'm like, well, let's talk about this actually.
Let's unpack.
Let's
yeah.
dive in here
Yeah.
because I do believe that my fatness has informed my perspective on this 100%.
Yeah.
Because there have been people that I have witnessed in life, and some in close proximity to me, that have made like hard and fast judgments about fat people. And I'm just supposed to sit there and be like, and that's not fat phobic.
Right. What I will also say is a lot of those people, when they actually come across, because I think you and I have both experienced this, as two people who are attractive, I'll say it.
Objectively.
I'll say it. Objectively attractive. I think we both have come across people in our lives who are probably like the no fatties people, and then they meet us.
Yes.
And then they're attracted to us and they
have
know what to do.
Crisis.
They freak out. And it is so, when I was younger, it was like incredibly frustrating to experience because I was like, why are these people acting in such this way towards me? And now that I'm older, I'm just like, okay, so you're afraid and you again have like your own kind of prejudice that you're completely unwilling to unpack. And like, that is simply not my problem at all.
Yeah.
But it is incredibly entertaining to watch when people are like, I would never date someone like fatter than me or weighs more than me or whatever. And then they meet someone, they meet a fat person they're actually attracted to. They don't know what to do.
Completely.
When really all they could do is just like be cool and nice and regular. And like they might end up having sex with someone that they're very attracted to.
Totally.
And it could be as simple as that.
And even like, I've had someone, this happened once, and after finding out this about this person, he and I never spoke again. I blocked him on everything. So just know the story I'm about to tell you.
Perfect.
Upon learning this about him, it was over for me. But I had been hooking up with someone over the course of several years when I was in college. We didn't actually hook up that many times, but it was over the course of years because he went to college in Boston and was from New York, and I was the reverse of that.
Yeah.
So we had like matched on some dating app when we were both in the same city at some point, and occasionally like over summer or over like winter break when we both happened to be in the same city, we would hook up over the course of several years. And at one point, we had never followed each other on social media, and one of the last times that we hung out, we did follow each other on social media. And then like a week later, I noticed that he had unfollowed me.
Oh.
But we were still texting and talking like normal. And I was like, that's really weird that like we just followed each other on social media after like years of hooking up.
Right.
And then you unfollowed me.
That's strange.
And so I asked him, I was like, so that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Why did you unfollow me?
Yeah.
And he was like, can I be totally honest with you? And I was like, sure.
I feel like what you're about to say is going to make me so mad.
And he told me that the reason why he unfollowed me is because he would be embarrassed if his friends noticed that he followed a plus size influencer. And I was like, word? Because we've been fucking for years.
Yeah.
So fuck you. And I blocked him on, I've never heard from him since. But I was like, that was a moment for me where I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys. Because that is the same person who he had been hooking up with me for years.
Yeah.
Had been very complimentary and loving of my body behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But then the second he had to be associated with me in any minorly public way, it was just a follow on Instagram. He was embarrassed of even following me on Instagram, of having people see if they went through his following and his friends saw that he followed a plus size woman, that was going to reflect poorly on him. He's the same type of person that would say that he would never date fat people. That's not his type.
Yep.
Fuck you, bitch. Looked like I was your type last week.
Yeah. That wasn't what you said the other night.
Right.
So,
and that's how it is for so many people.
yes. It's so baffling
Because
to me.
famously, people who are fucking normal and well-adjusted do not feel the need to, like, declare who they're not attracted to.
Yeah.
Like, the only people that are declaring who they're not attracted to are fucking freaks that have something to hide. Like, you are overcompensating, my friend.
That is
100%.
actually one of the most perfect points I've ever heard anyone make. Never have I felt the need to declare who I am not attracted to, because I'm not a freak about it. Yeah. That's so true. It is so also, like, indicative of who that person is, where he's like, his fear runs so deep that he's like, what if my friends look through every single person that I follow on Instagram and see that I follow one plus size influencer.
And then from that deduct that I've been hooking up with her for the last 2 years.
Yes. Hey, babe, you lead a miserable life.
Right.
Holy shit.
Unbelievable.
That is so insane. But also, again, like you said, it is like so deplorable and also like not shocking at all, because so many people are like this. And it's like, you literally could just be normal. Mm-hmm. You could just be normal and be like, yeah, of course I'm attracted to this person.
Completely.
And like,
but you had to be a fucking freak about it.
You had to be a freak, and now here we are. Now neither of us are having sex.
Right.
You happy?
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
What the hell?
This could have been so regular style, and instead, now you're blocked on everything.
Right. So enjoy that.
The way that, like, men act towards women when they are talking to fat women who they are attracted to, the way that, like, any sort of, like, connecting of the dots goes out of their brain, because they're like, well, she's fat, so, like, I couldn't possibly be into her. So like, even though I'm doing all the stuff that I would do with someone I'm into, it's not just the people who are like no fatties.
Right.
It's also the people who you consider to be like good people.
Totally.
And they also do fat phobic shit.
100%.
Where you just have to be like,
right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's now something that I know about you. Mm-hmm. And that is what it is. And I'm moving on. And it gets easier as you get older, but God, early 20s was a nightmare.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And what's annoying to me is people will listen to the conversation that we're having right now, and there will still be people that are like, it's not fat phobic for someone to not be attracted to you.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you didn't listen to a word that I just said then, if that's the conclusion that you reached.
Why are you listening to this podcast, I guess? Find something else to watch.
But it's so annoying because every time it comes up that there is at least one person that says that, and I'm like, you are not listening.
No.
If that is your gut reaction to this conversation, you did not listen.
Right.
Oh my God. You
so...
don't have to be attracted to me. That's not what anybody was saying, you fucking loser. Willfully ignorant. I hate you, dumbass.
What I want you to walk away from this conversation is I demand that everyone be attracted to me personally.
Yeah, actually, I take it back.
I take it all
You
back.
are required to think I'm sexy.
It is the law. I am trying to get this. I have been trying to get a bill passed through the Supreme Court.
No, literally.
For years.
It is fat phobic for you to not think I'm sexy.
Yes. If you aren't attracted to us, you are fat phobic.
No, literally. And you're also biphobic, and you're a terrible person.
Yeah. In many ways, not being attracted to us is a hate crime.
No, it is.
It is.
It 100% is.
That should be your takeaway. That should be the thesis of this.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I meant. And
yep. Actually, everything that we just said before this, you can actually skip that part
Yeah.
and just come to this moment right here, which is that you need to date me. Otherwise, it's
Otherwise,
fatphobic.
you're a bad person.
You're morally bad.
You're wrong for that. And that's the truth.
You're morally and ethically bad.
Yeah, true.
So,
Canceled.
That's it.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, that's
Enjoy
it.
your male loneliness epidemic. We have so many submissions.
Excellent.
I pulled so many of these. We'll see how many we can get through. Famously, there is a submission box. So if you too are looking for feedback on the drama and juice going on in your life, you just throw it into that box and I will maybe read it out on the show.
Yeah. And I will be here slurping it up.
Yeah, literally devouring it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, the first submission that I have here is just really a compliment to you. Someone just said, not a question at all. I just think Meg is the ultimate cool girl and I'm obsessed with her Substack.
What the frick?
Isn't that nice?
That's so nice. Thank you to
And
whoever
it's
wrote
true.
that. I have like maybe 200 subscribers to my Substack.
And I'm one of them.
So thank you. Maddie is one of them. Wow, that's so nice. I appreciate that. I love to be complimented.
I would love to hear your general thoughts on the following. How do you deal with hating your best friend's romantic partner? I'm looking for some real answers, but also some silly answers. For a bit of context, my best friend has been dating her boyfriend for 4 years, and I wholeheartedly hate this man. He is not a terrible person, but I hate him. She is not in imminent danger, but she does have to mother this man, and it is so frustrating to bear witness to. There are many reasons why I do not like him, but I don't think the specifics matter. What it boils down to is this. He does not bring out the best in my friend. I know I only get a glimpse of their relationship, but boy, do I hate every glimpse that I get.
Oh.
Girl, we've been there.
Girl.
Listen, girl.
Listen, girl. You must kill man with a beautiful
Listen,
knife.
Girl, I fear you're going to have to take your beauty bottom all the way over to his annoying face and
punch, girl. Oh, man. I mean, this is just like...
it's classic.
That's so classic. God, I think every single woman that I know either like is the woman in that relationship or has a friend who has a boyfriend that they hate.
Totally. You've got to hate one of your friend's boyfriends at some point in your life.
That's
just a rite of passage.
Par for the course.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, God. Silly answers? Yeah. Punch him in the face.
Him. Kick him,
bite,
spit on him, harass him through anonymous emails,
stuff him into one of those old-timey barrels and push him off Niagara Falls. Any one of those.
Yeah,
I keep thinking
that all works.
That all works. Drop an anvil on his head.
Yeah.
Paint a scene that looks like the road is going that way, but it's actually just into a wall, and have him then run into that wall.
Yeah, these are good ideas.
These are all good.
Make fun of every single thing he does and says.
That's actually
even
something
when
that
it's
I
not
do.
Funny. No, me too.
That's actually one that is useful, and you can.
You just have
do.
to laugh. Like we're here. He's here. He's
here.
not leaving, at least for now.
Yeah.
We've got to make the best of this. So we got to learn to giggle.
We really have to learn to giggle because otherwise we will cry.
No, and we have cried.
And we have.
And we might again in the future.
Yes.
I think, unfortunately, this is something your friend just has to live and learn through.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine to offer feedback to friends when they're dating someone truly terrible, horrible. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when they're not great, but he's also not, a hazard to her necessarily. He's just sort of not up to par, not up to the standard that you would hope for her.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of those situations, you just got to sort of let it rock and let your friend come to her own conclusions.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is one of those things where it's like no one can interfere. This is a canon event.
Yeah,
like
completely.
You either learn this through like a series of shitty situationships growing up, or you learn it through like having one really shitty boyfriend.
Right.
Hopefully just one. And like that is something that, yeah, you just have to at some point like take a step back and be like, this is not my relationship.
And there are like boundaries here where like, let's say if they're approaching marriage and you're still like, this guy is the fucking worst.
Yes.
I think there are delicate approaches to like making your opinion known to your friend in a very supportive and not, I don't know, like friendship ending, fight inducing sort of ways.
Yes.
But until we reach those like hard lines, I think sometimes you do just have to let it play out, because more often than not, they're not going to end up together.
Yeah. I mean, it really is like, there's a trope that I've been kind of developing in my brain, which is the decade-long in your 20s relationship,
right?
That a lot of people have, that they will start dating someone when they're like 20 to 23 years old, then be dating them for like the entirety of their 20s.
Yep.
And everyone is like, they're gonna end up together, blah blah blah, but it's also like the worst relationship you've ever seen in your life. And then they reach about like 29, 30 years old and they're like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, when it really comes down to the wire, they're like, I do not want to be with this person for the rest of my life. And I have never seen anyone regret ending a relationship like that. What I will say is, like, I completely agree with your point to, like, you can't necessarily, like, go to your friend and be like, your boyfriend's a shithead. Even if her boyfriend is a shithead.
Totally.
It really is, like, if it is, like, speed running to them getting married and you're, like, a year out from that wedding day, I do think it is worth sitting down with them and like uplifting them, not necessarily like downplay, not like downgrading 100%. The boyfriend, right? Like being like, hey, I just think that you deserve more. I don't think that this person like respects you. I don't think that they necessarily like uplift you in the way that you should be uplifted, yada yada. But that conversation can really only happen when they're getting close to marriage, or if they've like just started dating,
right?
Or if they have repeatedly come to you saying like, what do I do about this?
Totally.
About my boyfriend.
Yeah. I say to be that mostly you just sort of have to stand back and sort of let go and let God, as they say.
Unfortunately, the reality.
And I say that as someone that has in the past overstepped where I should have involved myself in these sort of conversations.
Yes.
I have been too blunt and too open in my dislike of a friend's partner before.
Yep.
And everything I said was true. It was my raw opinion, and it came from a place of loving this person so much that I wanted them to be in a relationship with someone that I thought was totally like on par with how great that they are.
Yeah.
It came from a good place. However, my approach was bad, and I think it came off like I was valuing my own perception over theirs, and like I was sort of I wasn't trusting their own judgment or ability to assess what kind of partner is right for them.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, and I've apologized for overstepping. This was years and years and years ago. But in hindsight, I can see that my approach to expressing my concerns was totally off. Mm-hmm. And it was something that then, like, our relationship took a hit as a result of that. And it took a while for us to build back up. And everything is fine with this person now. But, like, it is a delicate thing. And I think sometimes I'm a very passionate person. And when it's someone that I really love, I do have a tendency to just be like, to rip into it, because I get passionate and I get protective, and it all comes from a good place. But sometimes the delivery can be so off and so wrong. And that's exactly what I did in that case. And looking back on all of that, I think that I should have just shut the fuck up from the start. And there are moments where I have been, other moments in other friendships where I have been right to express concern within someone's relationship or someone's partner, I do think my delivery since that mistake has been better. And now I do feel that if you dislike someone's partner and they're not in like danger and it's just like, this guy's fucking annoying, you do sort of just have to eat that until we reach like a breaking point. But that's something that you have to let your friend live through and learn from, and sometimes you do have to trust that they know better than you do, even if you hate him. And it is hard. It is hard, especially as a know-it-all. It is hard.
No, it is.
But
well, and also like you're talking to two people who are famously like, break up, break up, like
break up with him.
This guy sucks. But that said, I know that not everyone has that approach. But no, I agree. And I've done the same exact thing where I have overstepped in the past and been like, this person is a bad person, whatever, like they're not good for you, yada, yada. I also know, you know, like I've had very close people to me with very close friends of theirs, like try to sit down and have these conversations and be like, I just don't think that this person will treat you right. And I think that it's only going to get worse as time goes on. And kind of similarly, like those friendships are the ones that take the hit. It's not the relationship with the boyfriend. Right. It is pretty much always the friendship.
Because if they're gonna gut into like the defensive from what you're saying, if you sort of present this information to them and they feel like, well, you just don't get it, you don't get me, and then they sort of ice you out a little bit, your relationship with them takes a hit as a result. And if this guy sucks, they're gonna need you. They're gonna need your support as a friend in those like tough moments.
Right.
And so I think sometimes you just have to like swallow those opinions so that you are invited into the conversation when things are bad and they can trust you and rely on you and like take your opinion into account rather than like getting frustrated with you and getting defensive and icing you out.
Yeah. And whether that's in like 2 years or 20 years, like I feel like with most of these relationships, like the day comes.
Right. You got to take some notes from like the compliment sandwich method as well.
That's really important.
Because like I have in more recent times in my life expressed criticism towards a friend's boyfriend. And having learned from my previous attempts at doing this, I feel that I have been much more effective at communicating this in the present day. And I, having learned what I did the first time around, now definitely try to approach it from a perspective of like, I love you and I trust your assessment of things. I think that you're a smart person and I obviously, you know, your relationship and you know your boyfriend far better than I do.
Right.
So understand that what I'm about to say comes from what I can see from where I sit, and I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to trust your judgment at the end of it all. However, from what I have seen, these are things that have concerned me. These are things that I have noticed, and I just want to make sure that like you're aware of these things or that you've thought about these things. I'd love to, you know, be involved in helping you chat through what emotions these things might bring up for you. But ultimately, like, I need you to know that me bringing this up isn't me questioning your ability to assess who is right for you, because I think you are a brilliant, capable person. This is me just expressing light concern from what I can see from my limited perspective. And I think affirming to the other person that you're not calling them fucking dumb helps. Because I think that is how it's received sometimes. Even though it's like nothing is ever so black and white where it's like there's one objective truth and there's no room for anything else. Obviously, it's a very nuanced thing, the like matter of relationships and what it means to be a good partner to someone.
Right.
But I think creating like an open dynamic where you're like, I trust you. You can tell me if I'm totally off here. But this is what I've noticed. And just let that be an open, not like accusatory conversation and not like an aggressive one where you're like, you have to dump him. You have to get out of this. And more of like a curiosity. This is what I've noticed. What do you think? versus like an accusation of some kind.
Yes.
There's like, you need to approach it with a little bit more gentleness rather than like an intervention.
Yeah.
Unless we get to the point of intervention, but hopefully we don't have to get there.
Yeah. Rather than with like all of the frustration that is probably valid that you feel. Yeah, I think that is really important because, I think you're right. Like, I think that a lot of people in those situations do feel like maybe their friend is calling them dumb or they're calling them, foolish or something. And it's like, no, that isn't the case. It's truly just that, like, I am able to have this outside perspective and it's so much harder to see things when you're in it.
Yeah.
And with all that being said, you do also have to prepare yourself for maybe you have that conversation with your friend and then a year and a half later, that friend and their partner are still together.
Right.
And that's
also
life.
It depends. Obviously, always largely depends on like the specifics of the relationship you're talking about. However, there are some instances where all of your feedback and all of your thoughts and opinions can be 100% correct. Mm-hmm. That said, there are also situations where you could just be wrong. Yeah. And you could have the wrong assessment.
Yeah.
And I think that I would remain open to the possibility that you could have the wrong assessment as well.
Yeah.
I think it's never a good idea to go into those conversations convinced that you have the right opinion and your friend's just like a dumbass staying with this man for no reason. Right. If you're friends with someone, if you're close to someone, clearly you think highly of them. Mm-hmm. Assume that there are parts of their relationship and parts of this man that you don't know and you don't see that could be and are, not could be, that are really influencing the way that she feels about him. And yes, there are situations where like the guy just fucking sucks and he's the worst and everyone outside of the relationship can see it. But there are other situations where it's, maybe we have hard and fast reactions that do end up being wrong and are maybe fueled by other things going on in our lives.
Yes. I mean, it's so
open to any possibility here. Yeah. We just got to keep our options open. He could be the worst for sure, but we could also be wrong.
We could be wrong.
Good to keep those options open.
I don't know a time when I have been, but we could be.
But anything is possible.
But anything.
Usually those gut reactions are correct. Yes. However, I'm open to the fact that I could be wrong or that I might have a hard and fast emotional reaction without knowing everything. And I'm okay to send retractions if need be.
Yeah, we're open to it. If we have told you in the past to break up with your boyfriend and we've been wrong, let us know.
Yeah. Please let me know. I don't know if I've ever been wrong yet, but I'm open to the fact that I could be.
I'm open to the idea of the possibility.
Totally. I don't need to be right. My being right in this context doesn't matter. I care about you being with someone that you deserve and love.
My being right is a happy extra bonus.
Right.
for the conversation that we have.
Correct.
That's that.
Hope this answered your question.
I do also just want to hammer home that like this is a situation that you will run into for the rest of your life. Yeah. This is not going to be something that goes away because guess what? Sometimes those people do get married. Sometimes they have kids with each other. Sometimes they stay together and that is the choice that they make. And even if you can tell from 50 miles away that it is the wrong relationship, you just have to be like, well, that's the life that they chose. This is what they want.
So it might not be what I want, but if this is what they want, then...
There was something that my friend sent me an article the other day. I still need to listen to all of it. Or maybe it was a podcast because I was like, it might have been a podcast or an art. I'm not really sure. But there was a quote that was like, so many people are more comfortable with the certainty of misery rather than the misery of uncertainty. Mm-hmm. And I think that applies to a lot of these relationships.
100%.
Where they are miserable, but at least they know what's coming. Mm-hmm. And I think that, unfortunately, a lot of people do take that route rather than choose uncertainty. That said, again, hey, maybe it's actually really good.
Who knows?
I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, exactly. Could be.
Could be. You let me know.
Listen, I will take your word for it, bestie.
I will support you.
I will.
I'll do it.
That was my oath that I took as a bestie.
We all got sworn in.
But, I will tell you the honest truth. And I will support you no matter what.
That's the oath we all took when we placed our hands on the care and keeping of you.
Right. Yes. We did.
We took that oath.
That is what it meant.
That's what it meant. We all opened to the page where they showed how your boobs would grow in stages.
Yep.
And we said, on my honor, if my bestie dates some shithead little fuck, but maybe he's actually really good.
I promise I will figure out a way to live with that.
I will find at least one thing that I find tolerable about that man. And by God, I will make it his whole personality.
Yep.
So that I can tolerate being around him.
100%.
Yeah. Hope that helps.
Hope that helps.
Hope that helps.
Godspeed.
Godspeed. No, truly Godspeed. You're braver than the troops, for real.
This is sort of in a similar vibe, but different.
Okay.
This is worse.
Okay.
One of my very closest friends has written a novel in secret under a pen name and is receiving a lot of rejections from publishers. This prompted her to ask me, an avid reader, for a beta read. I love her to death, and I'm so proud of her and thankful she trusted me enough to share. But it's bad. I've tried making a pros and cons list and looking for positive feedback. I'm really struggling with how to give the right amount of criticism and not crush her hopes, but also wanting to be honest.
Whoa.
What
a specific situation.
I mean, this is tough.
This is really tough.
I think the saving grace here is that it is criticism that has been asked for.
Yes.
They are giving you their book and asking you for your thoughts.
Yeah.
So I think that you should be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's going to be hard and it's going to suck. And if it wasn't asked for, I would say don't even bother going there.
Yeah.
But it was asked for, so you must.
Unfortunately, you must. Here's what I will say. I feel particularly equipped to answer this question.
Okay, love
because
that.
I was in a writing master's program for 3 years.
Love it.
And did creative writing in college also. So I have received countless, feedback from people like all the time. And it's something that you just kind of have to get used to as a writer. Like, sometimes you're going to write things that people just don't like. Yeah. And sometimes you're going to write things that just are bad. And I have also consequently read things that are really good and really incredible. And I've also read some stinkers. Mm-hmm. And it can be really hard when you're reading something and you're like, I literally can't even find a single thing to latch onto. What I will say is that through my years of giving and receiving feedback, there is always something that you can point to that you think they do really well. Mm-hmm. Whether that be, it can be something as simple as naming the characters. Wow, the names of your characters really evoke the personality of who these people are. Or the description of the tea kettle when it was going off was really vivid. I could really feel that it was there, and I like what you did, and I wanted to see more of that in this chapter where you're writing about this big plot point where someone gets murdered or something. It's there are ways to pick out even the smallest things and try to apply that to kind of your broader feedback. My advice is to, again, when you pick out those smaller things, note why you really liked them and note where you wanted to see more of that in the book. If it is so bad that there is nothing to latch onto, I think giving very objective, perfunctory feedback that is also like touching on the broadest points of the story, right? So like, I think people can feel really precious about the things that they have written, especially when they feel that others are criticizing these like really nitpicky points of their writing. So it's like, hey, if you don't like that, like you think that this Jake character should be passive and not aggressive or something, maybe don't even focus on that for right now. But if there are like broad structural issues that are worth noting, attack the bigger first before getting to the smaller. Because a lot of times when you restructure the smaller or the bigger parts of a story, the smaller parts will follow. I will also say that getting feedback truly is like a gift, even if it is quite critical, because writing is such a vacuum. Like it happens in such a vacuous space where like you are just writing in isolation a lot of the time. And so to get someone's eyes on it and for them to be able to tell you like what's working, what's not, is a gift, because otherwise you're just going to be writing and you're never going to be actually improving your skill. And a lot of times when you enter like your writing into contests or apply for awards or whatever, you actually have to pay extra to get feedback. And feedback from judges are never going to be as kind as feedback from friends. It's going to be so much worse.
Yeah.
So I think like my advice truly is to like start big, maybe like 2 or 3 big points where you're like, these things, like if they are not changed, the story will not fundamentally work. And then see if they want you to read a draft again. And we'll see how that goes. Because also it's like at this point, if they're getting rejected from publications, other people probably feel the way that you feel.
Yeah.
And I also don't know like your personal experience with like writing or giving feedback or whatever, but if you are also just someone who just like reads for fun and that's just like kind of a general thing that you do and you're noticing all of this, guaranteed these, editorial assistants that are reading 500 scripts a day or 500, books a day are also recognizing it probably within like the first 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
So I think pick 2 or 3 main things, focus on that. And then also if you can find like 1 or 2 things that you can compliment, no matter how small.
Yeah.
Tell those, say those as well.
Do it.
Say those as well.
Yeah.
But that is tough.
Yeah.
It is so tough when one of your artist friends shows you their art and you're like, this is bad. But at the same time, that's how good art happens.
Totally.
You have to kind of suck at something for a while before becoming good at it. And if this is, I don't know if this is the first book that they've written or what, but it's like, if this is one of the first things that they've ever like finished, completed, whatever, they're still very much so at the beginning of their writerly journey, Yeah.
Yeah. And like it is going to be easier for them to hear this from a trusted friend.
Yes.
Whatever ounce of criticism you want to give them, it is better for them to hear it from you than it is to be, it's probably easier for it to land with you than it is with strangers and higher ups at publications and whatnot.
Yeah. I think also it's just like, if they really want to be a writer, they're going to have to learn sooner rather than later that feedback is just not personal.
Yeah,
it is not something that you can take personally, because if you do, that's just going to ruin you, and I think the most successful authors in the world will, like, they still have haters and they still have people who don't like what they write. I think like Sally Rooney is like a perfect example of that, right? Like, people love Normal People and Conversations with Friends or whatever. Intermezzo, I've heard, has gotten much more mixed reviews. And also people will like give her a bunch of shit for just like writing the same like twiggy little brunette character every single time, who's like despondent in some way and British, you know? So like, yeah, no, I do think like giving feedback itself is a skill. A lot of times people tend to make it very personal when it just doesn't need to be. So really focusing on the technical aspects of the writing rather than like, I liked this, I didn't like this. One of my professors had this great piece of advice once where he was like, when people are giving feedback, you often have to think about what is the note behind the note. So like if someone is saying, if multiple people are repeating like, I didn't like this character, the note behind that is that there is something technically off about the character that is being written. Because you can write an unlikable character, you can write a likable character, but it doesn't really matter if the character itself is like structurally and technically written poorly. So if there's something that you're finding yourself thinking over and over again when you're reading this book, like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I encourage you to ask yourself, like, what is the note behind the note there? And like, why don't you like it? And getting more into like, what is the kind of like, what is the way, or like, how could it be written so that you do like it? Is there a way it could be written so that you do like it? And providing, you know, it doesn't have to be like advice necessarily, but just being like, I think I would be like more intrigued by this character if, you know, their secret was something that was revealed 2/3 of the way through the book rather than in the first 2 chapters, you know, something like that feels a bit more about the work itself rather than like, you are bad. You are a bad writer and your art is bad. 'Cause I think that is what can feel really, what, girl? I think that's what can feel really hard to receive and also can be like hard to give too when you're giving feedback.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I really just put on my little like grad cap there.
Yeah.
For a second.
Yeah. It's for sure uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This is speaking for myself here. I will say, like, I was a creative writing minor in college, and I wrote a lot of poetry. And in my creative writing classes, when we would, or even like in my film classes in college, when we would go through scripts and things like that, like when people offered my work criticism, there was some of it I would take and some of it I would leave. Yeah. And I was never offended by the criticism. I was like, some people are going to be on my wavelength and some people aren't. Yeah. But if I'm writing a poem and everybody in my classroom was like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, I'm like, okay, I should take that in, because now I've got multiple people that are like totally aren't even able to like get on board with the story that I'm trying to tell. Yeah. So that's like a problem that I can fix, and I have the skill set to fix it. Yeah. Like in some ways it feels like when people are offering you criticism, like they are trying to help pull out the artist that they already know exists within you. Yes. Like if they thought you weren't capable of doing better, they just wouldn't offer you any feedback at all. Yeah. But when people were offering me all this feedback, it was like, okay, this is actually helpful for me because I want you to be able to understand the story that I'm trying to tell in this piece. Right. And then, you know, come back the next week and it was much better. But like looking at some of my film classes and like the script that I was working on, there were some people that just like weren't behind the like thesis of my project. Yeah. And their criticism for sure came from a place of like not fully having the same perspective that I do. Right. And so a lot of that feedback I sort of didn't listen to because I was like, you don't get the story that I'm trying to tell. You're not trying to help me tell it. You're trying to change the story altogether. Yeah. And that's just not what I'm doing here. Yeah. Totally understand that this might not be for you, but like that's something that I'm not taking into account here. Yeah. But also like each artist has the ability to make those distinctions themselves. Like what's a piece of feedback you want to take deeper and what is something that you don't. And I think that like the act of offering feedback is like, it is kind, and also at worst it's like neutral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you are giving them, they don't have to take what you say into any sort of deeper account.
Yeah.
And
they could walk away from you giving them feedback and just be like, I'm not going to fucking listen to any of that. And that's on them.
That's their choice artistically. Yeah. So it's like they asked for your feedback. You should give it to them. But making their project great is not your responsibility.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to just like give your feedback and then let them do whatever the fuck they want with it. And if they choose to do nothing with it and, you know, keep working on this book that maybe you don't like and maybe none of these publishers like, but maybe there's 5 people on the internet that are going to like it. Yeah. Cool. Then maybe that is the book they wanted to write. It doesn't have a large audience, and that's fine. If that's what they wanted to do, then cool. Great for them. Congratulations for completing this.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
thing. But it's like, I feel like the act of like giving and receiving feedback is just like, I don't know. It reads as neutral to me. It's not like a diss. It's just more like,
don't like tangle yourself up in thinking that like you giving feedback is like some personal affront to them.
Right. Yeah.
It is the process. If again, like they as an artist should in their brain be prepared for that. If they aren't, if this is truly the first, you know, bout of feedback that they are ever receiving in their lives, well, then they're off to the races to learn about that aspect of writing as well. And that's fine.
I want to be more bold as I search for relationships, both romantic and platonic. I do have some friends from high school that I'm still connected with, and some other friends that I've collected on my way through life, but I would love to make more in the city I'm currently in. Do you have any advice for what to do / say when you're reaching out to people via DMs / on the internet in general, or just connecting with a community as a non-Facebook user? That's so funny.
Sorry, like, as a what?
As a non-Facebook user. Same.
Yeah, I guess me too.
I love all your stories of befriending people on the internet, and I'm just curious how a lot of that came about.
Aw, well, that's nice. Sorry, I don't want to make fun of you.
That is so funny, though. The last time you were on here,
I
had
mentioned
Facebook slip up.
Yeah.
And now it's back again.
Whoa.
Because famously, Meg is on Facebook.
I am on Facebook.
Because Meg loves poking people.
I love to poke people. I love to play, what is it?
Farmville.
I was about to say Animal Farm, which is fully a book.
Yeah, for sure, a book.
Yeah, I love to play Farmville. Check out Farmville, I guess, for friends. That's kind of a good way to meet people. I love this question. It is so hard to build community. We were talking about this before the pod even started. It is really hard to build a solid community with people who you feel close with. I've talked about this a lot with many of my friends who I grew up with, who I, am friends with here in the city. And I think a lot of people find it really challenging to make solid friendships because a lot of times it can be. Like, I think just being adults in general, it's like, it's really hard to like find a group of people where you're like, and we're all going to meet on this day and we're all going to invest the same amount of time into one another and it's going to be awesome. What I will say is that I'll start with friends, like being bold with making friends. I have no issue with reaching out to people online and being like, I am obsessed with you and I think that we should hang out.
Yeah.
I have done I did that last month to someone. They put on this play that I saw with like my roommate and his girlfriend, and it was her friend who was in the show, and then the person who wrote the show, I was like, this person is so goddamn talented. And I think is like so funny and like has such a grasp on like the work that they're doing. And truly, like, I would say a month and a half later, maybe 2 months later, I reached out to them because I saw that we had ended up following each other on Instagram. And I was like, this is so this is so delayed, but like I saw your show and I loved it. And I think that you are so funny and we should hang out sometime. And they responded very positively. I still need to hang out with them. This past month has been insane. And in my head, I'm like, I must remember to reach out to this person and make time. But I really think it's something as simple as that. I don't know if I've ever come across someone who's been like disgusted by me reaching out and like wanting to be friends.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are searching for that. And I think sometimes it really is just as simple as like swallowing your pride a little bit and being like, I think you're so cool and I want to hang out and let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
The issue then also is that like it doesn't stop there. Like you have to then be willing to like recommit to them over and over and over again and like kind of date your friends a little bit.
Yeah.
And like in romantic relationships, you will sometimes find 4 to 6 months into the connection that you're like, this is not the person.
Yeah.
This is not the person for me. This is not the friendship that I really want. And that can be tricky to navigate, but it really is just a game of trial and error, I think. And again, like continuously putting yourself out there and being vulnerable, because that's what's going to build your community more than anything else. Also finding things that like finding communities and groups of people that like share your interests is a big thing. Like I started taking improv classes in New York because I both love doing improv and also I thought it would be a good way to meet people. And sure enough, I've made like a lot of solid new friendships, which has been really great. Sometimes it will happen just by luck. You know, like I have a lot of really close friends who like their coworkers are my coworker was like their cousin, like the most random thing. And it also just takes time too. Like you're not going to go from no friends to this really great group of people in the span of like 6 months. Yeah. It's probably just not going to happen like that. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts for friendships, at least.
Yeah. I feel like with me, people have just sort of stumbled into my life.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I'm one of them, baby.
Yeah. No, literally. We met in person for the first time like a year ago, almost to the day.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this because it appeared in or maybe I was going through my
Facebook memory.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that is what I was about to say. Maybe it was just like I was going through my Instagram archive and went past this.
Yeah.
But the day that I met you, I left hanging out with you and posted on my close friend's Instagram story. And I saw what I posted and I was like, I need to show Meg this. Hold on, let me find it. I met a really sweet girl today and had literally the best time ever. I was so sad when it was over. I love having friend crushes and crushes in general, but a friend crush, it is just so fun. I love friendship and meeting someone new and just knowing you want to be friends immediately. That's what I had to say immediately after meeting Meg.
And that was exactly how I felt as well. And
I met Meg and I was like, no, there's something about that Meg girl.
Well, here's what's so crazy too is that, and we've talked about this, that like I had watched your YouTube videos for like a while before meeting you.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, I don't believe in parasocial relationships. I was like, but I do think that this girl and I would be friends. Yeah. I was like, I do think that we could be friends. And then sure enough, when we met for the first time, I was like, oh yes, absolutely, we're going to be friends.
And we're locked in.
And
here we are.
And now here we are.
Right.
And God, do I love it.
But like that was sort of by complete happenstance that we happened to be friends. It's not like, I don't know, like a month before we hung out.
Yeah.
I never would have known that a year ago we'd be here.
No, truly. And I think it is something where it's like, people I think can be really afraid to just reach out. And a lot of the times that's kind of all it takes is just reaching out and shooting your shot. And sometimes doing that with like friends can feel more frightening than doing that with like people that you like have a crush on or like want to date or whatever. But I think it's worth doing. Just being like, hey, I think you're super cool. And being like very honest. Being like, I think you're super cool. I think you're really funny. I would love to be friends. Because I think also a lot of people feel really similarly. Where they're like, oh, I wish that I could make more friends. I wish that I could do X, Y, and Z thing. And I think a lot of people are hoping that something like this can just happen to them too. Where it's like, whoa, I just got this DM from this cool person who I like kind of know but don't really know. And they want to hang out. And like, that's so exciting. You know, like, it really is just about giving it a shot. And a lot of times when it's about like first building those friendships, it's about kind of doing everything that you possibly can and casting a very wide net and then just like seeing what sticks. When my friend Pippa first moved here, her rule, which like this would, I think, throw me into a catatonic state, but her rule for living here was she was like, I just said yes to everything. She was like, I literally just said yes to every single thing that someone invited me to. I said yes to it because she was like, I just needed to make friends. We have talked about this. She didn't want to get drinks with me when I reached out to her. Yes, but she just said yes because she was like, well, I got to say yes to everything. Because we had like gone to high school together and she was like, I just don't know what we're going to talk about. Like, I haven't seen this girl in years, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she can talk to a fucking wall for 5 hours. So I was like, what are you talking about? You didn't know what we were going to talk about. We were just going to catch up. And then we did. And sure enough, like we have since become like very good friends. That's also something too, where like there could be people from your past who maybe you didn't click with in the past or you just didn't know that well, who like are in your city again. It's worth reaching out to them too and seeing what happens.
That's how Kendall and I became friends, really. Or sort of like that. I've got to get Kendall on the podcast eventually.
Gotta get Kendall on the pod.
Kendall Hoyt, may or may not know her. She's on TikTok and Instagram, but very fashionable, very lovely person. Kendall and I went to high school together. And she's a year below me. And I always like knew of her, but I don't even know that I ever interacted with her in high school. Beyond maybe just like passing interactions on social media. Maybe. I don't even know. But then when I worked for the skincare company that I was with before I started doing YouTube full time, I was on their like social media team. And so a lot of my job was partnering with people who were on social or like just getting UGC content for our platforms. And this was like during the pandemic and Kendall was just starting to make TikToks and I obviously knew her from high school. And so I had reached out to her through my work being like, yo, do you want to make some TikToks for us? And so we had like sort of like a back and forth because of that. And then when Kendall was thinking about moving to New York, she had reached out to me and we got coffee and we just started talking more. And this was like, my platforms are starting to grow. She's putting more time into TikTok and making content as well. So I think we just like all of a sudden we had this bond of this thing that we were both sharing. I had been making content for years. Now Kendall's starting to make content. She's thinking of moving to New York. And once Kendall did move to New York, we just like became fast friends. But I'd known Kendall forever. We just were never friends until, 2 years ago. Really.
Sometimes it's really just like a matter of timing. And like, I don't know, like my Pippa and I are going to be going to or we're going to a dinner with another girl that we went to high school with in like a couple weeks who just moved to New York. And it's just one of those things where I think you have more avenues than you think of connecting with people and maybe reconnecting with people who could be really good friends to you. I also like encourage you, or I guess like want to remind people to not get discouraged when things don't work out.
For every like
friend
that I have made out of doing this and just like putting myself out there and being open. I have also like gone to get coffee with someone once and realized that we were not gonna ever speak to each other again after that. Like I have met up from people that I went with people that I went to high school with. Yeah. And we've, you know, gone to go get coffee, sat in the park, got a drink, and I've just been like, you know what? Yeah. That was nice. We had a nice little time, but like I don't know if there's like a deeper friend connection there. Right. For every like, you know, for every one success in connection, there are like 2 failures at least. Totally. There's just like we weren't meant to be besties. We're on different wavelengths, and that's totally fine. Yes. But you just got to keep at it because you will meet people that you are on the same wavelength as. Yeah. When it comes to being bold in dating, because this is kind of a 2-parter. God, it's tough for me because I don't consider myself to be a bold dater. Totally. And you know, this actually connects, I would say, to the next amazing that I wanted to talk about. So why don't we hold that? Okay. And we'll talk about it for this one. I'm holding it and I'm keeping it. So let's hop into the next one. Okay. Let's hop into the next one. I hit the dating scene hard when I moved to New York City a few years ago, and I racked up a lot of bad dating stories and some trauma to boot. For the past around 2 years, I've sworn off casual sex, haven't been on a single date, and have become completely anti-dating app. Sounds familiar. Oh my God, that's so crazy. I had a huge crush on a guy for several months until this past April, and ultimately he didn't like me back. But it firmly proved that I have so much love to give and am ready for a relationship when the right person shows up. I just haven't met anyone since him that I'm interested in, and I'm feeling really apathetic about dating. The thing is, I'm definitely yearning, like in a general sense. So part of me feels like I need to put myself out there to honor that part of myself. The other part of me feels nauseous at the thought of going somewhere specifically to meet men. I already live a really exciting life and have a great community of friends. So why go out of my way to meet men when I could just keep doing the cool shit I already do? I've considered going places that would increase my odds of meeting guys, but would be fun for me no matter what, but even that makes me feel hesitant these days. Is my recent lack of effort in dating a genuine response to this season of my life, or am I not dating because it's the safe and easy choice where I don't get hurt? I'm having trouble finding where that line is, and I'd love your insight. So this was actually a submission that I wrote in that I wanted to reveal on the podcast. No, I did not write this. But that is in my brain. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to startle you. Didn't mean to startle you. Please go back to the way you were. Man, I mean, kick it off. How do you feel? So, I mean, I can't speak for you. I can only speak for my own take, having experienced very similar to this. I do believe that, like, yeah, there does exist a reality where you could be uninterested in dating for avoidant reasons. That could be the truth. However, I think there are many other realities where you are less interested in dating or not dating because of very valid and real reasons. Yes. Which is also how I feel. But I will say that, like, I mean, I have said that I'm, you know, not going on dating apps, and I'm also not like intentionally dating right now. I'm not going out of my way to like meet people or go on any dates, or I'm just not pursuing it actively right now. If it happened upon me, I wouldn't say no to it. Yeah. But I'm just not actively seeking it out right now. And that feels like an empowered choice to me. It's one that makes me feel good. It's one that I feel aligned in. And the second that I do want to have a more active role in pursuing someone in dating, like, I will adjust and move differently. When that time comes, I don't think that I will go back on dating apps. I think that my adjustment now is moving completely towards offline ways of meeting people, because I feel like in-person dating and opportunities to meet people that you could connect with that are not online have multiple benefits to you outside of like meeting someone that you end up with or not.
Agreed.
Like when I only did this once, but I would do it again. When I went speed dating, like, yes, the point of speed dating was to potentially meet someone that I wanted to date. That was the purpose of me going. I didn't meet anyone at speed dating that I wanted to go out with further. However, I left that event feeling a lot more confident in myself and my like ability to like put myself out there socially like that. I think that like I can be a little bit more reserved with people that I don't know super well, and I think especially in a setting like that where it's like, I mean, it is a little intimidating speed dating. You're like in a room full of people where you're like all the other people there are also dating, and there is like a thing of comparison, being able to see all the other people that everyone is dating,
right?
And like also to be able to introduce yourself and have like initial conversations with like 10 people in a night. And then like after the structured part of speed dating is over, going up to a person you just talked to during the speed dating part of it and starting like a random conversation in a bar. Like that to me is very like socially nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
And I did it. And honestly, I had a good time doing it. And at the end of speed dating, there was people that asked me to go get a drink at the bar next door afterwards. And that felt so good to me, to be having this like experience in dating that wasn't specific to the apps, and that I gained something from outside of like whether or not something worked out or not. Ultimately, none of the people that I met were people that I wanted to pursue something with. But I got something out of it that was so beyond like being finding like my person or not, versus like the dating apps. If you're not getting reliable matches off of the dating apps, you literally gain nothing else from being on that fucking thing. It's just a suck of time.
Yes.
For no reason.
Yes.
Versus like an in-person dating experience, like you actually are gaining something from that as a person, whether or not anything actually works out or not. So I think to me, I'm like, if I don't want to do that, if I don't want to be like actively putting myself out there, then I fucking won't, and I won't feel bad about it, because I've got so many other like fruitful and interesting and fun parts of my life to focus on. And if dating isn't a priority of mine right now, then so be it. And I want to focus on other things. But if that changes and I want to start putting more time in, I do feel like moving away from the apps and more to in-person dating allows me to feel like it's not like I'm, all or nothing on dating. I'm not like, or bust. Like I'm just allowing myself to have fun social experiences. And if something comes of that, then awesome. But if nothing comes of that, then like I am still gaining something from that as a person.
Yeah.
Yes. So like, could it be that you are taking the safe and easy choice so you don't get hurt by not dating right now? Like it could be. Or you could just not want to date right now. Yeah. I think that it is this like hamster wheel that we've been put on to be like constantly in pursuit of a partner is weird. Yeah. It would be wrong to assume that like by default anyone that's not interested in dating is avoiding something, as if to date is the default. Yeah. When I don't think it should be.
I agree. I think that this is an interesting question, because I just recently have kind of been coming to terms with like my own avoidant tendencies, and how, yes, in like friendships and, in platonic connections, I'm very willing to be open with people, but in romantic relationships, I really struggle to like open up and be vulnerable. And also, I just really love my life right now. Yeah. So it's a strange place to be in, where I'm like, I really do love my life. I love being single. I love having like just time to hang out with my friends and to do things on my own. Also, like, I sometimes don't even feel like I have time for myself.
Totally.
So like, the thought of bringing in like another person into the mix who I'm supposed to like share my entire life with, right now the thought of that, it makes me angry more than anything else. It like pisses me off, where I'm like, no, like I barely have time to like sit down and like start watching Agatha all along. You know, it's like it's like we're supposed to go to some like just fine Italian restaurant. Oh, Whisk, you are in a increasingly precarious position. So it's like I love spending time with my friends. I love like investing in like my hobbies and like the skills that I want to continue to develop, etc. While also recognizing that there is this part of me that I'm like, if I do want to be in some sort of romantic partnership someday, I would like to untangle these things about me. I think both things can exist at once. I don't think it needs to be this like mutually exclusive thing of like, yeah, maybe there is a little bit of like avoidance there, but like that's okay. Like if you also just really love what's happening in your life right now, like that's fine. But I think like when the time comes, when it comes to like you maybe wanting to date again and wanting to like put your, dip your toes in the water and what have you. I think to what you were saying, it's like, yeah, you can be on a dating app. Like I'm on Hinge. I don't really use it the way that I used to, which was like every day I'd be like swiping through and being like, who can I match with today and have a conversation with? I'm like if someone crops up who I think could be good, I'll maybe start a conversation with them. Let's see how it goes type thing. But also, yeah, I mean, my friend and I have this joke where we constantly say, we need to be looking at the right industry, which basically just means like, look for the communities and the groups of people that like your interests align with. Like I have a lot of friends who like work in like restaurant, like food and bev PR and stuff like that. And so a lot of the people that I'm around at like parties and stuff like that are like restaurant people or bar owners or whatever. Those aren't people, a lot of times the things that they're interested in that aren't really things I'm interested in as much, right? And my friend and I were like lamenting about this one day where we were like, God, we're just like not really having luck flirting with these people at these parties. And that was kind of part of why I was like, well, maybe we should start going to these like, maybe that's why we should start going to these like improv jam nights that are every single Tuesday, and like let's go here because we both really like funny people and like are attracted to funny people. And we were like, it's about the industry, like it's all about that. So I think it's about finding different ways and different paths for when that feeling arises of like wanting to date. And at the same time, I really just think that if you like a person and like you want to spend more time with them, and like this isn't to belittle anyone's like attachment style or whatever, but like I do think you will just want to spend time with them, and you will make time to do that. There's never been someone where I'm like really really into, but I'm like, oh, but I won't see you for another 3 weeks just cause, things are busy. It's like, no, if I'm really, really into you, I will make time to see you. Yeah. Because I want to see where things go. So it's like, yeah, I think you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself for like doing one thing or the other. I had this very interesting conversation with my parents a few weeks ago where I asked them about like their first date, and they told me that like they're like, I don't think we ever really officially went on like a first date. We just kind of started spending time together and like started hanging out. And I was kind of asking them like, but when did you like define the relationship, and when was that, like when did the time come, and blah blah blah. And they were like, we just like didn't really think about stuff like that back then. Like we just like, if you liked someone, you would just spend time with them, and like, yeah, maybe you would go on like a formal date or something, but like that kind of wasn't really how it was. Like I like spending time with your dad, I like spending time with your mom, and like that was what I knew, and that was kind of what we were basing it off of. And then we were dating like 3 months later. So I feel like a lot of people, especially now, and especially a lot of young people, like feel a certain type of pressure to constantly be like labeling different parts of their lives and different like phases and eras and all of this stuff. And it's like, you can quite literally just enjoy the time that you are experiencing now. And if you get to a point where that changes for you, then it changes.
Yeah.
And you can then address that in that moment. But yeah, I do think that like, I think it's, even if there is a world where you are being avoidant or something, like, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing either. Like, if you want to work on that part of yourself, then you can. And if you want to just spend some time on your own, then you can also do that. Because I agree. I don't think that our lives should be this constant sprint to get to the next partnership. Yeah. I think that ends up doing us all way more disservice than good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I feel like you're allowed to like ebb and flow within your like desire to date a lot more like freely and quickly than maybe I guess people make it out to seem like you're either all in or all out. Yeah. Like you are boots on the ground, getting out there, like hustling for dates.
Right.
Or you are totally out of dating.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah.
And I think that like right now I'm in a phase where I am completely in the middle, where I've not sworn off dating by any means.
Right.
But I'm also not like killing myself to fucking find someone. Yeah. Because what's the rush, babe?
Yeah.
And I just sort of feel more like, I don't know, it'll happen when it happens. And if I find myself at a speed dating event in 3 months, then cool. But I'm not going to make a habit of going to a speed dating event every fucking 2 weeks to make sure I find someone. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm just sort of following the vibe. Yeah. For now, I'm going with how I'm feeling. And there are some days that I am feeling more inclined to be flirty or put myself out there, DM someone on Instagram. And there's other days where I'm like, I couldn't even fathom doing that right now.
I feel like, 3 months ago, I was like, the next person that I sleep with, it's going to mean so much to me. And they're going to be so special. And then a month and a half later, I was like, I have to have sex now. It really doesn't matter who. And then, hey, what do you know? I had casual sex with somebody. Yeah. So it's like, it just comes and goes. And like you were saying, it's like, you also don't need to punish yourself for how quick your mind changes too. I think that's just the nature of it as well. Also the nature of it while we are as individuals kind of unlearning this need that has been like taught to us to constantly seek partnership. It's like there are nights where I'm like, oh, I'm so just like craving having sex with somebody. It doesn't really matter who. And then there are nights where I'm like, I just wish someone could see me. Like it really changes like night to night. So like allow yourself the flexibility of that and give yourself the opportunity to figure things out, because most people don't. Yeah. And I think that is where most people get caught up in relationships that ultimately do not serve them. Totally. And those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I think this is also why I have grown to hate the question of like when people ask if I'm dating right now. Yeah. So I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what would constitute me dating right now? Right. If I was grinding for dates, or does this count? Like right now where I'm just like, I'm open-minded about dating. Right. Or are you asking if I'm actively seeing someone? Yeah. Like, but most of the time when people ask like, are you dating right now? They're more asking if you're like on the apps, like in like the hamster wheel of dating. And I don't ever want to be back on that fucking wheel. Yeah. So I'm like, I just think my approach to dating is changing, and you maybe relate to what I'm saying or maybe don't, but I feel like in like changing my approach to dating, it might not look the same way that other people are choosing to approach their dating lives, but I don't think it makes like my approach any less I don't know, any less real. What works for you, and what doesn't. And that's allowed to change as often as you want it to.
Yeah. Fuck everybody else.
Deeply. And that's our episode.
And that's that.
Thank you so much for coming on, Meg.
Thanks for having me.
Just an absolute delight to have someone on this couch to talk to.
I mean, I am honored to be here all the time.
We get so into it, and I just deeply love and appreciate your perspectives. So
likewise.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
This was so fun. I'm going to link Meg in the description of this podcast.
It takes you directly to me. It will teleport you to me.
Yes. No.
That link.
Instantly. Try it. It's crazy.
Yes.
So be sure to go check out Meg's stuff. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next week's episode. Bye.
Bye.